there are implications for Scotland's independence and the future of the UK. Let's talk to our correspondent Nawied Jabarkhyl, who's been following the story for us. Scotland's result very close. What's the latest from the Scottish parliamentary election?
Refreshing as we're talking, Jamie. The latest results is out of 129 seats in the Scottish Parliament, 71 have been declared. 59 of those have gone to the SNP. What they need is 65 seats in the, so just over half to form a working majority. And one of the UK's leading polling experts, Sir John Curtis, says that they may fall just short of that. He predicts it will be 63. Now, what that means is that they won't be able to push ahead with Nicola Sturgeon's demands for a second independence referendum on their own, but it doesn't mean that there won't be a majority in the Parliament for Scotland's independence. What they will need is to form a coalition with another party. At the moment, that appears to be the Green Party. They're on 0 seats as it stands, but with about 55 seats still left to declare, that's definitely going to change. The Conservative Party, the party of Boris Johnson, they're set to win some seats, as is Labour, which has lost a lot of support, a lot of ground in Scotland in recent times. But the expectation is that the Greens and the SNP may form an alliance. If they do, that's going to cause a big political headache for Boris Johnson, because they've already said that both of them will back the idea of a second independence referendum, but no guarantee that that's something that will be pushed ahead, especially with the country focusing on COVID-19.
Well, the results obviously still coming in and still many races still to declare. But at the other end of the UK, the race for Mayor of London is particularly interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, an interesting one. This was one area where Labour were expecting to do very well. Sadiq Khan, the incumbent mayor, took over from Boris Johnson, in fact. He was expected to win comfortably. That wasn't the case, although things seem to have turned in his favour in the last few hours. The latest votes we've had in that have been declared, about 3/4 of votes have been counted. Sadiq Khan on 40%, Sean Bailey, his Conservative Party rival, falling back 1% on 35%. But what this does indicate is a problem that Labour faces across the wider country. What they're seeing is, traditionally, it was the working class heartlands in the north of England, in Scotland, that Labour were particularly strong in. Boris Johnson has flipped that on its head. It's now the Conservative Party doing well in those parts of the country, and ironically, the Labour Party, seen as which formed as a working class party, doing well in areas which voted to remain in the European Union in that all-important Brexit referendum in 2016, and that usually corresponds to cosmopolitan areas like London. So it looks like they're going to hold on to London. They have held on to Manchester, the UK's one of the UK's other big cities in the north of England, but certainly a lot of trouble ahead for the Labour Party and where it goes from here after a devastating loss nationwide.
You've covered elections for years. I mean, what is your big takeaway? What should we all take away from the election of this year in the UK?
I think the first thing to watch out for is what happens in Scotland, because if Nicola Sturgeon does manage to form a majority in that in the Scottish Parliament, she's made it abundantly clear that she's going to come knocking on Westminster's door for a second referendum. She can't have that unless the UK Parliament in Westminster gives her approval. They're not going to do that. Boris Johnson today said that would be irresponsible and reckless. They do have the options of going down the legal route, so this could be something protracted. A lot of people in this country, when you talk to them, say they were sick and tired of Brexit. They may be dealing with a new term called Skexit. But the other thing is, these elections may not have the power of a general election, the global attention of a general election, but what they do is offer a glimpse into public opinion on how the major parties are forming. And at the moment, it's a big thumbs up for Boris Johnson.
Skexit. Nawied Jabarkhyl, thank you very much.